So today we're going to move through intramembranous ossification. So this is different from endochondral ossification. So intramembranous ossification, we're still building bone. Okay, we're still making bone, but we're doing it from a different source. So intra, so inside a membrane. So not all the bones are going to be developing in the same way as the endochondral. Most of our bones are going to go through endochondral, where it's going through the cartilage and has that primary ossification site and a secondary ossification site. But our bones, like some of our flat bones and some of our weird shaped bones, are going to need a different form of development. And so that's why we have intramembranous ossification. For intramembranous ossification, we start with a membrane. Okay, it's going to be a mesenchymal membrane. Right? So it was made in development from the mesenchymal cells, which are cells that can develop into connective tissue cells like bone. So we're going to have lots and lots of precursor cells in our membrane. And we have, right, so our osteoprogenitor cells. These cells, once we're at the correct stage of development, are going to mature and they're going to become osteoblasts. And so inside this membrane, we now are going to have osteoblasts building up little areas of bone. Okay. So lots of little osteoblasts building up areas of bone, okay, very small. But as they keep building bone, they start to create kind of bigger structures. And inside these bigger structures, in the center, we're going to start seeing, right, at our lacunae, the little lake, for my osteocytes to sit in. So I've got my osteocyte, I've got my mature bone cell. So what happens is first, those osteoblasts are building up that bone, they're laying down their osteoid, and as they lay down enough osteoid and the bone starts to develop, that osteocyte can start taking over and we're going to be able to make true bone. These areas here where we start seeing these mature osteocytes and we're starting to see more bone, we refer to these as spicules. Okay, these spicules, so if we've still got my membrane, they're going to keep expanding, right? We're going to keep expanding and filling the space. Okay. And what I didn't draw here before is that inside the membrane, during this developmental stage, we see blood vessels. So instead of them going and invading the area or filling the bone is just going to grow around the blood vessels. So as they need more support, they're just going to naturally trap the blood vessels in place. And then eventually we'll be able to remodel and build a nice bone. And so my bone, I'll have a nice little flat bone here, will be primarily spongy bone, just kind of by the nature of how this bone grows. So we'll still have mostly spongy bone by the end of intramembranous ossification.